Have you ever bought something that you know you didn't need, but you were just itching for it at the moment and you couldn't really help yourself? I know I have personally done this a bunch of times, and I always get like instant buyer's regret. I'm like, why did I just do that? Well, consumerism has actually just reached an all-time high as the e-commerce industry approaches a staggering $1 trillion in sales this year, and it's not gonna slow down anytime soon. It started off with the rise of Amazon and AliExpress, and now Temu. It's become easier than ever to just buy something with a single click. And these companies are making so much money that they can just roll that back into advertising. Temu has probably contacted me well over 100 times trying to get me to do an ad on this channel, which I don't really want to do, but they're throwing a lot of money around because people are spending money. Now, according to SoCal, 95% of Americans make in-store impulse purchases, and 88.6% buy things impulsively online. So pretty much everybody. Now, I think kind of to combat that, there has been this growing movement that I have kind of been a part of minimalism. It's this idea of just buying less stuff, needing less stuff, simplifying your life instead of always trying to keep up with everybody else. Now, I've been into minimalism for close to 5 years now, and here's how I actually stopped even wanting to buy things that I don't need, and in turn have just started buying a lot less stuff. The 30-day rule. I've been really trying to implement this rule more and more recently so that before I buy anything, especially online, I try to wait at least 30 days. So I'll put it in the cart, I'll save it for later, or I'll write it down kind of on our calendar right here. There's a fly. Doing this allows me to kind of reflect on if this is just an impulse buy, something that I want, or if it's something that I actually need. If it is something that is actually a need, I'll keep thinking about it. I'll come back to it a month later. I'll look it over and I'll decide if this is something that will actually improve my life. If you're stuck buying a bunch of stuff, especially around the holidays, I think that having a challenge is a great way to break any bad habit. So with 30 days, no spending, or it has to sit on a list for 30 days before you can buy it, besides stuff like food, I think it is a great way to go. And that leads me into the 3 questions that I use to try to qualify anything that I am thinking about buying. Will this save me money? Will this make me happy? If it doesn't fall into any of those things, then I'm probably not gonna buy it. There are some things that don't exactly fit into that, but for the most part, if it's not going to improve your life in some way, then why would you put it into your life? You're literally spending your life to buy it. You traded your time for this money, so you're trading your life for it. If it's not gonna improve your life, what are you doing? That mindset has really helped me. Unsubscribe and unplug. It's time for one of my favorite apps, which is Unroll.me. This is free, you can check it out. I'll throw a link somewhere. Pretty much you hook up your email to it and then you just click unsubscribe to everything. You just unsubscribe. And that just stops me from getting a bunch of spam stuff. Like a lot of times we're triggered to buy something through ads, through emails, through a bunch of different things. So if you stop seeing all those things, then you're actually gonna spend less money. We see thousands of ads every single day. If we can limit that, it'll start to change our mindset because these ads do work. There's a reason people spend billions of dollars on ads because they work. So you gotta stop looking at them. This might also mean cutting out social media, something that I've done a lot where I don't really have Instagram and TikTok. And I personally do pay for YouTube Premium because I don't wanna see those ads. I value my time and I don't wanna have that in my brain. If you don't watch a lot of YouTube, it's probably not worth it. But if you do and you wanna see less ads, that might be something that's actually worth buying. You can also install some tools on your computer, things like AdBlock Plus, AdGuard. Those will help limit how many ads you see. Plus there's another extension that I use called Pause that makes you wait at least 30 seconds before you're able to buy something. That one's free, I've been using it for like 2 years. Just make it harder for yourself. Find joy beyond shopping. I used to be addicted to shopping. I would go once or twice a week to like Marshalls and just walk around because it was calming out of boredom. I'd find a few things that were on clearance. I'd get those. I would mostly never wear them, to be honest. But that was like therapy for me, and it took me years to get out of that habit and to instead find fulfillment and enjoyment out of things that weren't spending money. For me, that was picking up a few new habits. I started playing pickleball, soccer. I started leaning into YouTube more. I enjoy writing these. I enjoy shooting these. I started reading more books, going outside, going on hikes, spending more time with my family, just finding things that I enjoy doing that don't involve spending money or buying things. Because when you buy something, you get this little dopamine high like right before you buy it. Then once you actually buy it, that like dips below baseline because you instantly get this kind of remorse. So actually understanding that I'm not actually missing out on anything because it's not like a real high. Because like I don't actually enjoy buying stuff has also really helped me like not buy more stuff. Have money goals. This has definitely been one of the biggest ones for me because I have this goal of reaching financial independence, and every time I spend money that equals out to a couple hours or a couple days that I'm going to reach has really helped me spend less money because I am so excited about building a future for myself, building a business, saving up enough money that we can get our next property, which will hopefully be like a farm. It'll change our lifestyle. Having these short-term and long-term financial goals in mind makes the decision of should I spend on this thing that won't matter towards those goals, won't matter towards the things that are important to me, or can I take that and I can put it into my high interest savings account that I have with SoFi, and there's a link down below, and it can earn 4.5%, and then I can take that money and I can invest it some way into my future. I get more excitement out of that and seeing that interest grow and seeing me get closer to my goals than I do of just buying another thing. Like almost nothing you buy really changes your life at all. Like you didn't have that your entire life before that, and you won't be any happier afterwards. Set a budget. For some people, a great way to get started towards breaking this bad habit of overspending, which can be just super frustrating when you are making a decent amount of money or you're making good money, but you're just spending everything that you're making or more, is to set an actual budget. It's to go through and look at all of your expenses over the past 30 days or 90 days and just observe them. Even manually entering them all into a spreadsheet really makes you process the, did I get my values worth out of going to Starbucks 26 times this month? Should I have gone to the grocery store 26 times this month? Should I have bought on Amazon every single day or 3 times a week or whatever it is for you? And then going off of that and creating an ideal budget of what would I actually spend money on if I had some control over my impulse buying? And then from there, moving on to the next steps of setting financial goals for yourself. And that comes with taking the time to sit down and create a budget for yourself and reflect over your finances. Get yourself a hobby. This one's a little outside of the box, but it's hard to stop doing something, right? Like it's hard to just stop smoking without replacing it with something else. It's hard to stop playing video games without replacing that with something else. And the same thing is true with spending money and wanting to buy things. If you just try to stop spending money without replacing that habit, without replacing that kind of dopamine hit with something else, it's gonna be way harder and you're probably gonna fall off the bandwagon after a couple weeks or a month. For me, something that's really helped me is to have YouTube. It's something that I am super excited about. I love doing. That's kind of always on my mind, which is my own problem, but it's something positive to think about. Even things like my obsession with sourdough or making coffee. Instead of choosing to not go out and buy coffee every day, I'm choosing to really enjoy the process of making coffee. Instead of focusing at the thing I cut out, I'm focusing on the positive aspects of the things that I replaced it with. Same thing with not buying clothes. Instead of thinking about I never really buy clothes anymore for the past couple of years, I'm enjoying the fact that I don't have a lot of options. I don't have a lot of things to choose from. Most of the time I just wear black. And that's kind of like fun for me. It's kind of like a challenge to really not buy any more clothes once I got those initial ones that I really enjoyed. So you gotta think about what hobby are you going to replace this with? I would personally recommend YouTube, and not just because I absolutely love it, but because I think there's a lot of positive things that I have learned from it about myself and I've been able to help other people with. So that's why I made a free 7-day course on how to start a YouTube channel. If you're looking for a challenge and a way to improve yourself or something to do with that free time, I will guarantee you this will be a little bit of a challenge. It won't be all that hard, but you will gain something out of it, even if it's just realizing that you had a lisp, which is something I never knew until I started editing it myself. Oh boy. Anyways, it's completely free. There's a link down below if you want to check it out. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you'll really like this one right here. It's very good. And I'll see you next week.